Hello to everyone, my name is Andrei Kudravtsov and welcome to our Fairlight CMI-III introduction video. Basically the purpose of that video is to explain the main features of our CMI Series 3, which is now available on eBay. To make sure you're aware of all building parts of the system, all the configuration, and you basically know what you are buying. I expect that at some time that video can be boring, because what I'm going to do is just a one-shot video to demonstrate all the basic features of a Fairlight, how it boots, how you operate with the system. So just expect some delays while seeing how the system boots also. So let's call the main building blocks of the system right now. First of all, it's a mainframe, and that's a main CPU unit which comes with audio cards, which includes main CPU. As you may see, it's a brand new painted, it's a brand new black painted, and it's painted with white panels, so it's a completely brand new. Then we have our Fairlight musical keyboard, which is also amazingly clean and it's brand new painted. The monitor, VGA monitor, is included too. I will show you how it works. It's an amazing monitor that fits exactly into that configuration. You see complete picture, not as usual where some part of the screen can be cut. Alphanumeric keyboard, this one from the Series 3. Well, that's brand new keyboard, not used at all. You'll be happy by using that. Then what we have here, that is an MFX keyboard, which is used to operate MFX features of that system because it's upgraded to MFX, and I will show you how it works. That works too. It comes with brand new mouse, so you can use touchpad if you want, or you can use mouse for the same operations. To me, using the mouse is more convenient, but touchpad is amazing and it's brand new too, so it's very nice. And then it comes with a lot of different printed material. I will explain that later. We have a time while system boots. Anyway, let's start from explaining the configuration of the system, and let me open the front door for you to demonstrate the main parts of the system. First of all, as you may see, the system comes with fully populated 8-channel cards, which give you 16 channels in total. It has one memory card produced by Peter Wilk in Australia, and that card expands the memory to 32 megabytes, which is a maximum memory to a Fairlight. Well, it's good to have that card too instead of conventional separate memory cards, because well, you save the thermal power, you save the power of the system. It's really convenient. It has only one memory model here and doesn't produce any heat at all. Then you see here there are additional CPU cards and peripheral card. That system right now in the configuration of MFX1, it's running MFX2 software. So what does it mean? You can run, you can sustain 8 channel of digital recording of MFX features, and you can make 24 channels temporary. So it fully supports an 8 channel of digital recording, and it works really nice. Now let me close that door, and you see that part is not usual too for these systems. So first of all, what you may see here, it still has the original floppy drive, 8-inch, and it still works. So it's connected, it works, it's tested, it's nice for compatibility with CMI Series 2 or 2X systems if you want to use it together, or it's just nice to have. It still have a tape drive, original tape drive, which is also tested, but right now it's not connected because there are 2 additional bays for the hard drives, which now are connected instead. So if you want to use it, it can be used, but I personally don't really see there needs to use it at this time, because the typical tape cartridge, which is supported by this tape drive, is really small capacity. This part is really well, special to that system, and I'm proud to have it here really mounted so nice. So what it has? It has 2 hot swappable drive bays. Let me show you first drive bay. First drive bay has a standard hard drive. Nothing special, it's a SCSI hard drive. The system operates with maximum of logical partition of 4 GB. So that hard drive is formatted for digital recording. It's not used for typical sample operations, and I will show what's used instead of that. So it's my only intention to use that hard drive is for digital recording. As soon as you plugged in it in the bay, you should to lock it. Otherwise, the system will not recognize it. And now, yeah, let me show you another bay, which is more interesting. That bay has a SCSI to SD adapter board. So what is basically it's a standard SD card, mini SD card, micro SD card here, and it's connected to the special board, and it simulates 4 drives at a time. So the capacity of that card is 16 GB, but it's formatted by the 4 partitions by 4 GB. And by having that, you basically have in a one enclosure 4 separate drives, and it works amazing, and it has tons of samples, and it's almost full with different kind of samples coming from the factory samples to the custom samples. So again, I plug it into the system and lock it. So in that configuration, it will start working immediately as soon as I power on the system. Let me show you back side of that system to show you the configuration. So that configuration is interesting also because you see that all output cards populated here. So 8 output cards, 16 channels of analog output in total. There is a mixture card which gives you a monosum of all of these 16 channels. I'll be using that output for just the demonstration purposes. I highly recommend you to connect the system to the mixer desk to have a dedicated channel outputs and to have every channel connected separately to the system. However, that also has a router card, which is amazing. So some people saying that with a router card you can double the performance of your Fairlight CMI Series 3. That's actually true, because what router cards allow you, it allows routing of these channels, of these 16 channels, into 24 outputs at the same time. So you can play with, well, basically 24 separate channels in a 16-node polyphony, and it works amazing. However, remember that a router card is just another analog card. Some people saying that with router outputs are more noisy, and actually that's the case because there are more op-amps in that card and the output is a bit noisy. So if you want to have a complete clean output, dirty output, so use these separate outputs. If you want to have maximum capability and maximum flexibility, use the router outputs. Here is the input card, which is also special. This card is produced by the Fairlight at the time Fairlight came into Fairlight ESP. It allows you 2 analog in sampling, so you may see right and left input, and it also has a digital input and output. Because that system upgraded to configuration of MFX, so that means it has a VGA card with VGA display output. It's here. Here is a standard MIDI card, and here is a standard synchronization card, which has a click output, metronome output, and SMPTE synchro input output. That part is also came from an MFX configuration because that's a regular connection sites plus the connector for MFX keyboard. So that's probably it on that stage. Let me connect the system and get it running for you. What I have here, I have a snake prepared already with analog input because I'll be demonstrating how to use it. And I'll be using a single mono output just to make it easy, to make the connections easy. Now we connected that side, and let's connect remaining peripheral. That is a power for musical keyboard. It's here. That is an MFX keyboard connector. I will plug it into that connector. Another serial connector for the keyboard, power, and basically that is it. So the system is ready to power on. This system comes with two different operating systems I prepared for you. First is 11.40 Plus, which is a MFX2 system, and also I have a 9.34 operating system, which is a per CMI-III series system. I will show you what's the difference of that. Basically, the latest system allows all MFX features. The 9.34 system is the most stable for running just the system in a CMI series 3 configuration. So without actually MFX, and it can be used together with a tube green monitor if you want. Okay, ready? First of all, I will power on the MFX keyboard. Monitor is powered, and start the system. I forgot the monitor cable, so let me quickly connect it and you will see the screen. Okay, now it's booting to 11.40 Plus configuration. The good thing about these drives enclosures, that there is a dot here near the digit, which is basically illustrates the activity of the drives in that way. So it's good to see what's happening with the drives, if there is any disk I/O at that point. And now, because the system boots, we see it's flashing continuously and just booting the system. A couple words about musical keyboard. As I said, it's freshly painted, it's freshly cleaned. All the contacts inside the keyboard, which are actually spring contacts, were tends to oxidize. They were also cleaned, very calibrated, and basically the calibration procedure of these contacts is absolutely simple. You can do it later if you have any troubles with that, but I expect it will be reliable for many years. So now the system booted to MFX screen, and that's just a default screen with the project list we have here. What I want to do now, from the MFX screen, I move to the standard CMI series 3 screens. So what I want, I press Escape F15, and I get into directory page. So the directory page is just a list of our files we have on the current hard drives. So right now it remembers the last location I used it. So it's a C000, and the path to the all files, there are a couple of thousand files in that system. And as I told you before, this SD card SCSI emulator, it emulates 4 drives at a time, and they're full of different kind of samples. So I will load any basically random sample right now. Instance this one. Unfortunately, at the time I selected sample to be loaded into the system, our camera got hot and auto shutdown. So after 15 minutes of break, we continue with recording. So I would expect it will another stop because of our camera hot. So we selected a test sample. I'm pressing F5, and now it's loading to the default instrument channel. Takes a time, it's a pretty big sample of a bass cell. I move into our instrument control page, and now I set the number of required polyphony. Well, for instance, I want to use all the channels and press 16, press set. Okay, it's ready. It's ready and it's working. So that's the CMI page. What I'm going to do now, I want to deassign some channels from that configuration and to use that configuration at the same time with MFX features. So what I'm doing, I'm just removing these channels. I still leave 8 voices of polyphony. I have to free up the channel 1 and 2 simply because it's used for the recording. So the architecture for CMI is following. Channels 1, the output channels are used to clock the recording channels. So you can do the play of output 1 and 2 channel at the same time of recording channel 1 and 2. So I'm moving from that page to the MFX page. I press Escape, press F12, and here I want to create a default project on the MFX keyboard. I press New. I make the name for that project, press Enter. Now it's created. So from that part, the MFX is ready, the default project is loaded. I'm doing next. I press a digi arm, and here I select the channel 1 for recording. I want to use it as stereo recording. That's why you see 2 bars here, and I will generate some recording sound. And I press recording. So now system recorded the first test clip on the MFX keyboard. I can use a rewind button or I can use jog button and press play for that part. So all MFX features work as expected. As soon as I finish with my project, I go back to the project menu and press close. And by doing that, I safely closing the project. I can open it in the future, and it will be in my list. Next time, I'll do some recording. So it's ready. It's ready and it works. Now, what I want to do, I want to demonstrate to you how the system boots into another operating system, 934, which is the latest and best system for running only CMI-III series features. And for that purpose, I'm going to replace the SD card in the SCSI-to-SD emulator and boot another operating system. So I shut down the system. Oh, I forgot to say about the cooling subsystem of that system. So you will see 2 standard knobs from a CMI configuration, and you may see additional knob here, what's that? So basically, the system comes with a replaced cooling subsystem, which includes all the fans, including power supply fans, and these fans controlled with PWM regulator, which allows you to control the speed of these fans. So right now it's running on the top speed because it's pretty hot in the room. It's running about probably 30 minutes already since we did that video recording and we didn't shut down the system during the break. And it's a maximum RPM, so that's a maximum noise produced by the system. I can make it lower or completely shut down. So at that point, it's still sufficient for the system because, as I told in the beginning, that it doesn't use a standard memory card. It uses that amazing magic memory card from the Peter Rilke in Australia, and it's still alright for the system. In order to confirm that, let me do the following. I have an infrared thermometer here, and I want to show you the real temperature of the system. So let's have a look here. First, I will put it to the channel card, and you see that's in Celsius, 38 Celsius degrees. I'll put it to the memory card. It's a 33 Celsius. It's a pretty stable temperature across the all cards here, this one, and CPU card. It's a 32 degrees. Here is the output cards on that side, audio output cards, because they have op amps integrated into the copper plate. They also a bit more warmer than digital cards, so it's a 37 Celsius, 33, 40. So that is expected temperature of the system. So it's not really hot. Well, that's absolutely right to get the system running into the room, the same room where you have all equipment, or you can put the system far away into the machine room. For that purpose, the cable for MFX keyboard, it's a pretty long, it's about 30 feet. Also the cable for the monitor, there is additional cable for the monitor, VGA extension cable, so that's another 30 feet. And so you can put the system far away. Unfortunately, the cable to the musical keyboard, which are basically two cables, power cable and serial cable, they are not so long, they're about 10 feet, but you can extend them pretty easy. That's a standard cables with basically not standard connectors, but the cables are absolutely standard, and it can be increased in length if you want. So now let me shut down the system and replace the SD card. So it's pretty easy. Put it back, lock, and now it's ready. I will mute my system. Now the system boots into the operating system 934, which I already said is the latest for CMI-III features, the most probably stable. We will boot it in probably about 20-30 seconds. It doesn't have all the fancy graphical screens like we have the 1140. But for only CMI tasks, so by loading samples, by sampling, by using all amazing features of our Fairlight keyboard, that's probably the best if you don't want to do any digital recording or you don't need these screens. And actually you will see that graphic mode is slightly different. To me it looks slightly better. That's why I'm including that operating system together with that package. So you see the picture is crisp. Well, the picture was not bad at previous operating system, but here it's crisp. It fits exactly into the size of the monitor, so that's a special monitor. Not every monitor fits into that system, and you see it first of all it looks amazing. So we can do the same. We can load the sound here. I'm using that sound. Let's load it. That's it, it's ready. Let me show you some sampling features by the end of our introduction to the system. I want to create my own sample, and I will show you how quickly do and just to try it how it goes. So I will delete this sample. create a new voice, give the name to this voice as new, for instance, and I'll be doing stereo sampling. Now it's created. I press Escape F7, go to the sampling page. It's ready. I'll be using analog input, stereo sampling. Again, I will start playing some test music. Increase the volume a bit. Maybe some more, and I will sample that piece. It's ready. I will do sampling for 5 seconds. Press set, sample time 5 seconds now. Press the sound playing. It was clicking a bit, which is my fault. And now we are going to the voice edit page. So you see it was sampled, it works. And we can do some work with this sample. Like at the waveform edit page. So that's just a preview of that. It plays the complete 5-second range. So that's it. You can do your own sampling, everything works. Everything works as expected. I think I demonstrated the most of the basic features of the system. So just a few words about the documentation which is coming together with the system and other hardware, because I didn't yet explain that. So here is a whole set of manuals for the system. Plus the manual for MFX 2 features will be separate, it will be on our own printed page. And that's a classic user manual. In addition to that, you'll get a complete book of service manual, which is absolutely amazing. It has all the technical details and diagrams of all building blocks of the system. Couple of great flyers, including Stuart Copeland flyer, and also 2 pedals, one foot switch pedal, one controlling pedal, will come with that system. They have a right connector, so they can be used right away and be plugged into the musical keyboard. With all of that, I think that's it what I wanted to show you today. Thank you very much. Please bid on eBay. Please. Thank you. Bye.